Welcome to Macabre Matters, where all matters of the macabre are discussed, from hauntings to legends, plagues to disasters. We have it all right here. Welcome to our third season, Macabre Across the Pond, where we will visit the 5 countries of the British Isles and tell their gruesome tales. This is the 3rd episode of our Wales month, and I lit my whole thing on fire, and now we are here for the roller coaster. So, you know when you sometimes have a topic, and then at 2 in the morning you wake up and you suddenly just like, you know what would be better is if I suddenly changed my topic literally the exact same day we're recording? So here we are with our brand new topic.
Sweet Jesus.
So that's why, if you look on our lovely recording schedule, it says that I'm covering oop, or oop, because it's,
Yeah.
oop, I changed my topic.
Okay, not gonna lie, when you said I just decided to light everything on fire, and I'm like, what? For some reason, I thought you had accidentally lit your tree on fire.
No.
Whew.
So originally, I was going to do Cardiff Castle, but the same name appeared while researching Cardiff Castle that appeared while researching Abergavenny Castle as well as Skirrid Inn. So I went, F it, I'm just gonna cover that instead. So today, episode, we are discussing Wales' Undying Hero, a man whose name comes up in so much of Welsh history, except apparently the Carew Castle, that he deserves to be remembered in his own episode. Today, I am discussing Owain Glyndwr, the Prince of Wales. So, what?
That's why you asked, okay.
That's why I asked if he tied in. You're like, why does she give a shit about Owain Glyndwr? Because he's my damn topic. Alright. So, Owain Glyndwr was born in approximately 1354 to 1359, depending on the source. His family were Anglo-Welsh nobility. His father was from the Powys family of Powys Castle, that Izzy will be speaking of in our next episode. His family can trace their lineages of being some variation of Welsh nobility to before the Norman conquest. So, he started his life pretty much as a normal Welsh nobleman. He actually went to school for law in London because when his father died when he was young, Gruffydd Fuchan II. I can tell why there wasn't a third and he named him Owen. I'm gonna break you. Anyway, his father died when he was about 11, so then he was raised in the household of Sir David Hanmer, who was a judge. And since he had such a big impact on Owen, Owen went to law school in London. He went to one of the prestigious schools out there, but he did not end up becoming a judge or a lawyer. Instead, he married Hanmer's daughter, Margaret, in 1383, and by the next year, he actually was drafted, like the medieval equivalent of being drafted, to serve under Sir Gregory Sayes, one of those two, and the Marches. So the Marches is the Marchers were English people who were encroaching in on the Welsh, and the goal of the Marcher clans and the Marcher nobility was to essentially kick out the Welsh of Wales. And the de Braose family, they are a Marcher family. They were English and Norman born, trying to oppress the Welsh. Owain Glyndwr is fully Welsh, and he was enlisted to fight for the Marchers against his own people. So we're going to start seeing a little bit of this coming through of how he's going to feel about the English later on in life. So he then was able to fight under King Richard II. So not Lionheart. And if you know anything about King Richard II, that's not good. He's also known as the Mad King. So he fights under King Richard for about 10 years or so. Like, he's fighting under King Richard II for a long time. And he does something. The sources switch it up on me. But he does something to, like, annoy King Richard. It's probably just because he's Welsh. But one of the other lords in the area, Lord Grey, who is a true marcher, he is English, he's Norman, starts to be given the lands that literally Owen's family owns by the crown. I believe by this point it was Henry IV who decided, I'm just going to give away this very ancient, noble Welsh family's land to the English people, and they won't care. Well, he is still a noble, so he still goes and does stuff over at Hampton Court and everything. He still has to be there for stuff, and he still has to send his own Welsh people to go fight for the king for various bullshit that he wants to do. So what happened was, there's two different stories for this, is that King Henry IV had a draft call, and he required all of his lords and all of his barons to send men in to fight for him. So the two options is either Lord Grey stopped the messenger from reaching Owain Glyndwr, telling him you need to send people and that you now need to go visit the king, or, which is he did on purpose. The other one is that Lord Grey made a clerical error when he was writing stuff down. But either way, Owen is branded a traitor to the crown. Because he never sends people, and he never goes to see the king. It was either on purpose by Lord Grey, or it was Lord Grey being inept at his job. Either way, he's pissed off now. So now the king's coming after him. Lord Grey's taken his land. Lord Grey now got him in trouble with the king. And that is when Owain Glyndwr, at about 50 years age, said, fuck this shit. Almost 50 years old. And he started the Welsh Revolt. And because the reason the king was calling for people to send their soldiers is he was fighting in Scotland. So the king was busy with Scotland, so Owain Glyndwr took over all of northern Wales without the king noticing. And that's when he was like, I am now the Prince of Wales. And that's where we get the, term for the heir to the British throne is the Prince of Wales. So in Glyndwr. That's where we get it. So he continues fighting against, now the king's angry because he's like, oh shit, this guy's actually able to fight. And he's actually winning, and all the Welsh people are like cheering on Owen. They are breaking with the king. Those who were sent to fight for the king, they're just abandoning and joining his revolt's army instead. So he's losing soldiers now because they are now going to Owen. They are claiming him their king, or the Prince of Wales, and Owen starts his own Welsh parliament. So now Wales is about to start making their own laws as well. So now it's gone from a little annoyance in the backwaters of Wales to, oh my god, this man can actually try to take over. And I will admit, I think Owen got a little bit too big for his britches. Because instead of just trying to free Wales from England, he decided to start stepping into England to try to take England over, like England was taking Wales over. And this kind of starts to become his downfall, because the Welsh, the reason I feel like they were winning is because they were fighting in Wales. They know their land, the English don't. So then they were using it to their advantage. Now they're trying to go into England, and England knows their land better than Wales. So now they're losing. and they're being pushed back into Wales. So that's why a lot of the different castles and everything in Wales, especially if they were a Norman-based family like Abergavenny, they have a story of Owain trying to take them over. Because he was purposely attacking the Marcher and Norman families to get rid of them to put Welsh people in their place because it's Welsh land. Kind of follow where he's going. But after his final battle on his revolt in 1412, Owain Glyndwr was actually kind of chased away by Henry IV's forces, and he goes into the mountains, and no one ever hears from him again. Eventually, Henry IV died in 1413, and his son took over, Henry V. Henry V did offer pardons to all the Welsh who fought in the Welsh revolt. Owain's son took the pardon so that at least his family could still have a place in the Welsh nobility and keep their lands. I also forgot to tell you one of the big families that helped, because they are the cousins of Owain Glyndwr, were the Tudors. Years before they became the royal family themselves, they were fighting to get Owain on the throne.
Wow.
So, that's a little tie-in to our English episodes. I was going to do it if I could. The Tudors fought with Owain to try to kick out the English kings, and that's also how, when you pay attention to Tudor history, Henry VII said he did have a claim to the title. It's because he's related to Edward. I believe it was Edward the Confessor, or Edward II or something. Owen's also. So okay. That's how they were related. And so that's why they fought and tried to help each other. But back to what happened to Owain. He just disappears in 1412, and no one knows what happens. Some people say he died in the mountains, but the big thing for him is he was never betrayed. There was a huge bounty on his head. If you turned him in, you would go from peasant to noble amount of money in your life for turning in Owain Glyndwr. None of his men ever turned against him. No Welsh person ever turned against him. He was never betrayed. So, when he ran to the mountains, he was also followed by a lot of his followers. One of the followers said that he died in 1415 and that he got buried, but that the English found out where he was buried, so then they moved his grave to a hidden spot where no one can find him. Others say that he actually never died. I assume everyone here is used to the story of King Arthur. King Arthur never dies in English folklore and mythology. Instead, once he becomes older and becomes sick, he takes a boat to Avalon, where he gets healed, and that he remains in Avalon until the day that England needs him most. He will come back. For the Welsh, Owain Glyndwr is hiding in the mountains, and the day that Wales needs him the most, he's going to come back, and he will save Wales from the English. And that is what an undying hero is called. So I have a bunch of different quotes and everything about Owain Glyndwr. A lot of British people, and not British people, a lot of Welsh people would make different poems about him and different stories. So I wanted to read this one from 1905 by Owen Roscommil. That's what we're going with today. His grave is beside no church, neither under the shadow of any ancient yew. It is in a spot safer and more sacred still. Rain does not fall on it. Hail nor sleet chill no sere sod above it. It is forever green with the green of eternal spring. Sunny the light on it. Close and warm and dear it lies, sheltered from all storms. from all cold or gray oblivion. Time shall not touch it. Decay shall not dishonor it, for that grave is in the heart of every true Cymro. Cymro is the Welsh term for a Welsh person.
Okay.
There, forever, from generation onto generation, Grey Owen's heart lies dreaming on, safe forever and forever.
Very nice. It's actually really neat how you tied in King Arthur to that.
I tied in King Arthur, I tied in the Tudors, I tied in Powys Castle that you're doing next, I covered in Abergavenny that I covered first. I made everything tie together, and this was at 2 a.m. I'm insane. It was just like I woke up at 2 a.m. I was sleeping. I just went, I want to do Owain Glyndwr. Also, it's really funny. So audience, anyone listening, please write in the comments if you have also read this book series. It's a YA book series based in Virginia about these teenagers who are searching for Owain Glyndwr's body because they found records that he escaped from Wales and was buried in the ley lines in Virginia, and that is how his body was still completely fine, is that he is on the ley lines and he's powering the magic found in America. The series is called The Raven Cycle. It's by Maggie Steffenschneider. Something like that. I can't pronounce her last name. But her first name's Maggie. And, like, I love the book series. It's really freaking cool. So, when I was doing the research, I kept seeing the name Owain Glyndwr. I kept wanting to reread the book series. And so I was just like, I want to do a whole damn episode on it. Like, that's how I actually learned how to pronounce his name, was because the book, they pronounce his name correctly. So I also hear him called Owain, which is why when you were doing yours about your Owen, you said Owain at one point. That's fine. That still counts. As
because I just saw
Welsh
the way it's spelled. I'm like, Owain? So, okay. And I feel like I probably read that book series too. It's just been so long.
The first book... Let me look it up. Because right now my brain's remembering the name of the second... The Raven Boys.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to read that series, actually.
Yeah. The Raven Boys, Blue Lily, Lily Blue, The King, The Raven King, and then I think there's a fourth book. Or it's only the 3.
Okay.
But I love the series. I think it's so freaking good. It came out when we were in high school, so it's very similar to, like, that early 2010s style of teen YA writing.
Yeah.
So sometimes, like, the dialogue, I'm just like, oh my god, I used to talk like that. Why did I think that was cool? And, like, so there's parts of the book where you're just going to be sitting there, like, you're cringing because the characters are the exact same age we were in those years.
Oh.
So it's, like, the same exact way we talked, because it's based in, like, 2010, 2011. They're 16, 17. So it's, like, the exact same age we are at that time. So I'm just like, it's... So, like, occasionally they make references, but it's not, like, too much where if you're not our age, you would understand it. You can still understand it. But it's just enough to make you sit there and go, ooh, yeah, I remember.
Oh, I remember saying that so many times. Oh.
Yeah, so, like, it's good. I suggest that book series to everyone, especially if you enjoyed a really quick rundown of Owain Glyndwr. They make slight references to it. They make some references to Welsh history. A lot of references to just British folklore in general.
Okay. All right, then I'm actually going to, probably after this, I'll download that on Audible.
That's where I'm reading all of them. And if you're listening to it on Audible, I will warn you now, there's only one voice narrator, and it's a dude. He does very good on all the different voices, but the main character of the book is a girl. So I just had to get used to it was him speaking in a higher octave. And you would think, oh my god, that's going to sound terrible. The dude actually sounds feminine. Like, he can switch between that deep masculine voice and sounding like a girl, like a teenage girl. I'm like, okay, you're okay. I can handle you being the voice for this, because I was kind of worried when I realized, shit, the main character's female. It's a, like, 40-year-old man, 50-year-old British dude doing the, reading. But he did really good. So, yes, I am now just singing the praises of this book series that I just really freaking loved, and I still love, and I do reread it often, so I just like, you know what, we're going crazy on Owain Glyndwr right now.
Nostalgia just really hit you.
Yeah, I got a really bad case of nostalgia, and I just found it cool that, like, when I was doing Cardiff Castle, which it kind of was still a source for me because he did a lot of things at Cardiff. I didn't really talk about them a lot, but that was one of his major, like, escapades was at Cardiff Castle.
Oh, okay.
Because, kind of like Abergavenny, it being a stronghold of, like, deep importance, while Abergavenny was more of a tactical importance, Cardiff held a little bit more of a, like, cultural importance.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, if you held Cardiff, like, you were kind of holding a big seat of Welsh power. 2015 marked, I believe, the 600 years since the believed death of Owain Glyndwr. So, like, a lot of things came out about Owain Glyndwr around then. I think, like, the end of the Raven cycle or the beginning of the Raven cycle came out around then, too. So, like, that was kind of cool. Like, oh, she even tied it into the history of the place. So, but, like, you know, the Welsh symbol?
Yeah, the dragon.
This was Owain Glyndwr. He was the first one to, like, go into battle with the Welsh dragon. He's the reason this is the symbol of Wales. And, he is still honored to this day. So, like, Welsh people are still, like, Owain. Like, they were celebrating those 600-year anniversary, like, their fallen hero and everything, and it's just, like, Great Britain just being like, should we be worried that you're still celebrating the dude who tried to get you freedom from us? And I'm just like, no one wants to be with you. Have you not realized this yet?
No one wants to be ruled by the British no more, not even the British.
No. Well, they were stuck in it earlier. They were just like, we didn't even choose this ourselves either. We don't want to be with you either. Probably the only thing that was holding them on for a while is the fact that I'm pretty sure Queen Elizabeth really is Welsh. Really was Welsh.
Yeah.
So, like, they're like,
yeah.
We're okay right now because the actual royal family's Welsh.
Yes.
So it's like, but if the royal family, like, they get a new royal family that's not the one that in there now and they're English, I don't think Wales will care. They'll be like, fuck you. Like, all my sources were just like, yeah, Wales has always been very fiercely independent, even while being ruled. They're like, nah, fuck you.
Yeah. Like, we may be a small country, but we are mighty, and we will fuck you up, most likely.
Oh, yeah. They're like, we may not have the manpower, but we will, with our little amount, we're gonna fuck your shit up and make you regret messing with us.
Yes.
They are definitely like, don't bother the mama bear in a family. They are the country of mama bears.
Yes.
Don't piss them off.
It was, I don't want to say funny, but for some reason thought Wales had already become independent from English power. It shows how much pay attention to.
They've been stuck in that for 1,000 years. It's been an issue for over 1,000 years. Wales got taken over, and then it moved up into Ireland and Scotland were fighting around the same time. I think the last to fall was Scotland.
Makes sense. And I think
because really, they didn't do it until the Stuarts came in charge. They never actually fell.
Yeah.
They just... The only reason that Scotland calmed down, I'm pretty sure, is that now they were in power.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So, we actually have a challenge that was put forward today by my father. And it is time for my father's challenge. So, listeners, on screen, you see the longest named area in Wales, and we, with our pronunciation guides, have to try to work together to figure out how to say its full name. In English, its name means the Church of St. Mary by the pool with the white hazel near the fierce whirlpool by St. Tilcilio's Church and the Red Cave. That's what that whole name means. It is this word! According to the guide, LL is a THL sound, so... Like, I thought it was Llewellyn for the longest time. Apparently it's Llewellyn. So, it starts with Flan Fair. W goes oo. So, Flan Fair Pool. Goo. Un. Because Y's, unless it's at the end of the word, the Y makes a sound. So, Flan Fair Pool. Goo. Un. Gulf. Go. Curry.
Coca.
Curl. How? That's a W and a Y next to each other. Ooh, So, corn. Corn. I'm trying. Drobe. Ooh. How many L's is that? Is that 4?
Is it bad that I gotta hold my phone like this so I can see it in its entirety?
So is that... What? Us. Ilio. Go, gok. That was my attempt.
Go. That's all I get.
Your turn. That was my attempt.
Took me 2 minutes just to get through it.
Wait, how long did it take me?
Like almost 2 minutes.
Your turn. And then I'll actually use the real pronunciation guide below it to see how badly we both did.
Okay, and 2 L's is the f sound, or like a F
TH. Full.
Tool?
Yes.
Till unfair.
W's go ooh.
Till unfair.
Remember, W's are ooh, and Y is ooh. You got this.
Fun flare. Flare. I apologize. Glyndwr.
You are trying your best.
Yeah, sorry, Wales. Gryngithurwil. Esransil. Go.
I like how we rapid fire at the ending. We're just like, go.
Because that is the part we know.
Okay, so according to this giant sign that actually has a pronunciation guide on it, it says it should be Lanfear Pool Guin Gilgoger U Quern Drub Ul Landus Ilio Guguguk. I hope everyone enjoyed us attempt Lanfair Pool's name, or Lanfear Pool. Oh yeah, because one F alone is a V. I forgot.
Ah! Yeah.
So, like, Lanfear Pool. I hope you enjoyed that. And with that, do you have any questions about Owain Glyndwr or struggling through the Welsh language?
Does he have any descendants?
Yes, many.
Okay.
And they did stay in power for a while. The last big one I could find was Sir Robert Croft, and there is a Croft Castle that is very much associated with the story of him. And also like 3 different castles, because his daughters married 3 different men whose castles were like kind of close together. He's associated with all 3 of those castles, and there's actually possibly a painting in one of the castles from about 1414-ish that is believed to be Owain Glyndwr. Like what he truly looked like. But if you ask the family, they're going to say no. That it's a different person, that it was just like a monk or a friar who was close to the family during the time, but a lot of historians think that in order to stay in Wales and not get caught, Owain Glyndwr pretended to be a friar. That way he could stay with his family and move around and not get caught as easily.
Makes sense.
So, yeah, eventually I'll drag you there too. We're planning a giant Wales trip. We're gonna visit all the Welsh places. And take a picture below that sign that we just butchered.
Yep, it'll just be like, we're never saying this word again.
Yeah. You know, remix it, take clips of us saying it, and we're never doing it again. That is your only time.
Yes, it's your only time.
Alright, any final thoughts?
No, I think I'm good.
Awesome. In that case, thank you for listening to Macabre Matters. This episode was written and hosted in a 2 a.m. roller coaster dumpster fire by me, Kalee. My research was sourced from historicuk.com, castlewales.com, and owenglyndwr.wales, all about Owain Glyndwr. Also, Dan Jones's Great Castles of Britain series on his episode on Cardiff Castle. Thanks to my co-host Issi for putting up with me in tonight's episode. If you have enjoyed listening to us, please give the show a review, leave a comment, or share our show with your friends. We can be found on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, YouTube, or wherever you enjoy listening to podcasts. You can also join our Patreon. Patreon members get shoutouts and videos, can request topics, or to hear us say really hard words, and receive special live episodes with us. We also are about to do a special with our Patreon where we're going to be doing some giveaways once we hit 15 members. So, the link to the Patreon is in the description. Sign up so you can join the giveaways.
Come on!
If you have any questions, comments, concerns, email us at macabremattersofficial@gmail.com. Also, if you want to get to know us better, please follow us on Instagram and Threads at Macabre Matters Official, YouTube at Macabre Matters Podcast, and like us on Facebook at Macabre Matters. You can also join our Discord server where you can talk, hang out with us, and teach us how to properly say Welsh things. All links are in the description. Music you are listening to is Winter Breath by Adrian von Ziegler.
Oh! Thank you and have a delightfully grim evening.
No sta!
My brain just decided to go bye-bye.
I need to pull up the dude's name because I always forget it, and it is Welsh.
Is it Cecil?
No, it's not Cecil. I would cry if it was Cecil, and I had to say his name again. So, found it. His father's name was Gruffydd Fuchan. Fuchan. Gruffydd Fuchan II. I can tell why there wasn't a third, and he named him Owen.